Hi, my name is Jen, and you're watching Beantown Backstage. Make sure to follow us on all of our social media. One.
Marker and clap. When does it end?
I don't know. So, Jason,
Who am I?
who are you?
I'm Jason Ebbs.
What do you do?
I should ask you the same thing. Why am I here?
You
I
are
just walked into this room and you sat down and started asking me stuff. So
you are here because we want to know more about you,
okay.
your music.
Can you tell me about this project in like 5 seconds?
This project, we are displaying Boston music artists and industry professionals, so people who also want to get in the music industry or want to know more but don't have the materials to do so can through our project.
Beantown Backstage.
Beantown Backstage.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, it's totally fine. Sometimes you got to put in the plug. It's totally fine. So is music something that you've always wanted to pursue, or is it just kind of
In school?
In school, life?
Yeah, I mean, I always pursued music in my free time as an enjoyment thing. In terms of college, I wanted to pursue it not in an academic way.
Yeah.
I wanted to, definitely increase my pursuit of music, but that's my own, pursuing my own music catalog and building that up. The only things I do in classes with music is I'm going for a music minor so I can keep some of my dignity. I'm an electrical engineering major, so, I didn't want to throw my passion out the window.
Right.
So.
Is there a fine line that you just feel like with your passion and your job that you want to pursue?
I think with that electrical engineering, there's a lot of possibilities for music.
Mm-hmm.
None of which are very available within my curriculum, but
yeah.
The possibilities are there. Audio engineering and guitar pedals and whatnot. So I think that's why I chose electrical engineering, was because a lot of the stuff I'm working with on stage, that's electrical engineering, just
exactly.
behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would be the biggest obstacle that you've had to come with music, really?
I don't know. There's been a bunch. Writer's block would have to be one, but that happens to everyone, obviously. I think knowing when to step back
mm-hmm.
from writing a song and just saying like, okay, I'm not ready for you right now. I will come back to you, or not come back to you. That's a big obstacle. I was always a very shy kid. So putting myself out there
mm-hmm.
at first was definitely very hard. I think working up at least the facade of confidence has helped a lot, and it is mostly a facade. Acting confident and out there. It's been a challenge, especially like when I'm writing such emotional stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All of that's real. None of that's a facade. So putting that out there, it's like really, it's tough, or at least it was tough to open myself up to people I don't know,
mm-hmm.
or people that I do know but don't know that much about me.
Yeah. Do you always get worried that when you put out a song that is real, that person's going to be like, oh, this is definitely about me?
I think it's the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I kind of want to give a little nod or a little wink to someone, and I'll put the tiniest, or, in some cases a full song about someone.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to be like, hey, I wrote this song about you. But I want to be like,
in a non-creepy way, hey, I wrote this whole song
if they
about
notice, I always love getting a little text like, hey, is this about me? And I'll be like, yeah, but whatever. It's no big deal. It's fine.
I mean, it's fine.
Yeah, but I can only think of one case where I wrote something really, like, serious and emotional
mm-hmm.
about one specific person. And, it paid off. Like, we ended up talking about it, and, things were good.
Do you just sometimes write music just to let thoughts out? Not necessarily like gonna put it out on anything, but just to kind of get out your emotions when you can't find the exact words to?
I do. Like I felt very overloaded with music beginning of last summer in terms of like I was taking on too many shows. I had just released a new album, so I was getting a lot of like attention from that.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided to just take a huge step back from my own music. And it felt kind of good too, because then I could go back into writing songs, and it wasn't for anything. It wasn't for an album. It wasn't to release to people. And, you know, the only purpose of it was for my enjoyment and to say something that I had to say,
mm-hmm.
even though I was just saying it to myself. But, you know, and if it's good enough, if I finish it and think it's good enough, it'll end up on an album. But, you know, I'm not like expecting that.
Yeah. So when you do think of a song, is it something that you put in like a voice memo? Because I know a lot of artists do that, or is it something you write on paper, studio, and then do it? It's
all over the place, but it's all on the iPhone. We're not sponsored by Apple. Am I allowed to say Apple? We're not sponsored by a phone company.
Also named by a fruit.
Yeah.
Cannot say.
So it's a collection of voice memos for riffs, notes for lyrics.
Got it.
They're scattered all over the place. There's no organization whatsoever. It's basically that I'll, if I'm writing full lyrics for a song, I'll go back into the notes and see, oh, will this fit here? Will this fit here? And I'll pick and choose which ones I can take. And, you know, depending on what style of song I hear it going with, I'll go to the voice memos and try to marry it with a riff or something like that. Yeah.
So Boston, with it being such a huge college city, do you think that's an advantage or disadvantage when you're putting out music?
For sure, it's a huge advantage because even a lot of people I went to high school with go to school in Boston, which helps to, like, you know, disperse my music in little seeds throughout, you know, BU, Emerson, Emmanuel. And, you know, whenever I play shows, the crowds are always just people from those schools, you know. So I think the college presence is really my biggest asset at this point, because the people listening to my music are in the same position as me, you know, and I'm just trying to find people that will relate to whatever I'm saying. And I think it's very easy to relate to what I'm saying.
Yeah, especially college kids, because I feel like everyone kind of goes through the same thing at this age now.
Yeah, a lot's happening.
Yeah.
It's like the second coming of teenage angst.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm an adult and this is still happening.
I'm an adult and I'm still in teenage angst, and you're trying to find, like, your place in the world at the same time. So it's just kind of like a lot going on.
Yeah.
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 With the Boston music scene, have you found any obstacles specifically?
Not specifically with the Boston music scene. One thing I've noticed just in any music scene is that it's really important to network, but sometimes people are too obvious about trying to be friendly. I'm trying to figure out how to word this. Like, being friendly, but you know they want something from you.
Right.
And I got some advice from a good friend of mine who's pretty big in the scene. I won't name names, but when I was starting out, and he was like, yeah, like it's really important to network. And basically what he said was it's really important to do that, to hide it and to, like, hide your intentions. And I just think I would rather have someone be direct with me if they want something from me. You know, like, hey, I would like to collaborate with you because I want attention or whatever that is.
Yeah.
Or I want to steal your music. Like,
yeah.
At least tell me that, and then we can work on building a connection together. I hate the fakeness of it, and I never feel right doing that with people. You know, if I want something from them, I'll just be straight. You know. So I guess that hasn't been an obstacle with me because I'm good at spotting it out. But it's definitely one of the few things that's bothered me.
Do you think that's also one of the biggest flaws in the industry as a whole?
Um,
Because I feel like in this industry, I think that there's a lot of fakeness that goes around just because they want to kind of like
that you
everyone
gotta
kind of feeds
expect,
off
like
of
that's
each other.
business.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I mean, to think of it in any other way would kind of be naive.
Yeah.
Which is why I understand when people our age are doing it. But the good thing is we're in college, or I don't know who I'm talking about. People my age making music are in college.
Right.
And like, this is one of the few periods in our life where we can, like, I don't know, it doesn't have to be all business. You know, you're allowed to be straight up and you don't have to be fake about it.
And it's a good time to kind of make mistakes and learn from them now instead of later on. It's like a learning lesson at the same time.
Yes, thank you, Mom. Exactly.
Gotcha. Going off with the advice that you were given by a friend, is there any other advice that you wish you had known before you did something?
Not in terms of the music industry, but for myself personally, starting out, I would tell myself to not be afraid to promote myself more. When I recorded my first single, it's one of my favorite songs of mine. It's called Stone in the Road. And that was the first time I released anything on Spotify, Apple Music, whatever. And I just kind of posted it, a little Facebook post, like, hey guys, came out with a song that I wrote. And that was it. But like looking back on it, I love that song. I play that song in every set. And I just wish I took more pride in my music starting out. Now I feel really confident in promoting myself because I know people genuinely like what I'm doing. So I know it's not for everybody, but the people who do, and I can confidently, kind of promote to them like, hi, new stuff, please listen to it.
Yeah.
So I guess just be more confident.
Do you see any platforms that are hard to promote and get people's attention? Which is easier for you to promote on?
I think Instagram is the toughest because you can't repost things. I had no one, like back in the Vine days, people would re-Vine.
TikTok's a thing now. You can always make a TikTok if you need to.
Well, think about that one. I do have a TikTok with 2 private videos on it. Don't follow it. Facebook, you can share posts. So Instagram is really tough because I don't think, do people look at hashtags anymore?
I don't think so.
No. So I don't usually bother with that stuff. With Instagram, I really rely on friends. I don't ask my friends to share things for me. So I really just rely on them wanting to, post a story or something.
Yeah.
And like I said, Facebook is a lot easier because it's easier to share things. With both platforms, they're both useful in terms of ads. You pretty much just tell them how much you want to spend and they take it from there and they'll post to people they think will like your music and
And it's easier to share a page on Facebook than is Instagram because Instagram have to give them like a whole user.
Yeah.
Where like if you do like a Facebook page, all you have to do is just click invite all and then
exactly.
It's just easier that way.
Right.
If you want to be remembered for one thing, what would it be? As a good closing question.
Yeah. To be honest, just having a good time and having fun. I'm not trying to make like any political statements or anything. I don't have strong opinions that I'm trying to get out there with my music. It's basically just like, we're young, enjoy it, go to the beach, mess up, have fun. That's it.
It's a great thing to be remembered by, if you ask me. Well, thank you for coming in. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Do we have to shake hands here? Okay.
We can just do another high five.
Hey everyone, this is Jason Ebbs from Beantime Backstage. Thanks for watching today. And check out my music on Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud, whatever you prefer.